Welcome to the social science class. Today we are going to start the new chapter.
Children, today we are starting a new chapter. Name of the chapter is Challenging the Caste System. You may remember that in the previous chapter we learned how the reformers of the 19th century focused on the issues of women's emancipation. Another social evil they battled against was the caste system, which is an inherent feature of the Indian society. Children, the caste system evolved from the Varna system of the Aryans. We have studied about caste system and Varna system in the previous classes. In the Rigvedic age, the Aryan society was divided into four groups: Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. This system was flexible during the early Vedic period, whereas during the later Vedic period, the Varna system became complex and rigid. Children, during the early Vedic period, people they could change their occupation and so as their Varna. The membership wasn't hereditary, but during the later Vedic period, the people they could not change either their occupation or their varna. The caste system was depending upon the social division, not on the occupation, which was earlier the base of this system. Children, during the 19th century, an effort was made by the reformers to modernize the Indian society. Many of these reformers they were influenced by the ideas of equality and liberty and worked towards removing evils like caste and untouchability, etc. Caste system was identified as a form of inequality and a hindrance to national unity as well as national development. These reformers they fought for the eradication of casteism. Raja Ram Mohan Roy and many other leaders of the Brahmo Samaj like Tarachand Chakrabarti and Keshav Chandra Sen, they were the critics of the caste system. Ramakrishna Paramahans and his disciple Swami Vivekanand, they were strongly condemned the caste system and untouchability. Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, when he became principal of the Sanskrit College in Calcutta, he ended that tradition of admitting only Brahmin students and he opened the doors of higher education to students from all castes. Children, founder members of Purna Sarvajanik Sabha, they advocated intercaste dining and intercaste marriage. And also they worked for the removal of caste barriers, child marriage, and advocated the cause of women's education. These reform movements created awareness among the so-called lower castes. Apart from this, the Christian missionaries they played an important role in the battle against the caste system. They set up many schools in areas where large tribal and so-called lower caste population uh, and other communities they were often deprived of education. Children, the colonial period offered new forms of job opportunities to the people. There was a huge demand of cheap labor for jobs like coolies, diggers, carriers, sewage cleaners, sweepers, etc. Many of these lower caste or scheduled caste people, they were also employed as plantation laborers as well. Children, most of the early reformers who stood against the caste system, they were from the upper caste. In order to put the idea of social equality into practice, they often violated the caste norms. Guru Ghasidas, a leather worker, he founded the Satnami movement in central India, which demanded social rights for leather workers. Haridas Thakur organized the lower caste Chandla cultivators of eastern Bengal. Similarly, Jyotirao Phule, he was the strongest proponent of anti-caste movement in Maharashtra. He himself faced caste discrimination in early life. He argued that the so called lower castes are the original inhabitant of this country and they have the right over the land and other natural resources of this country. Children, in 1873, he founded the Satya Shodhak Samaj, which worked for the rights of the lower castes and untouchables. In South India, Veer Salingram, he called the caste reforms in Andhra Pradesh. He founded the Rajamundry Social Reform Association and set up schools for the untouchables and working class. Shri Narayan Guru, a famous social reformer from Kerala, believed in the ideal of universal equality. He propagated one caste, one religion, one God for humankind. In 1903, Shri Narayan Dharma Paripalana Yogam was founded by him, which worked for the improvement of the socially marginalized. E.V. Ramaswamy Naikar, popularly known as Periyar, he led the anti-caste movement in Tamil Nadu. He became a member of the Indian National Congress but felt it was dominated by the upper caste and decided to quit. Periyar believed that the untouchables have to write for their rights themselves. With this objective, he founded the self-respect movement. Children, in the 20th century, Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, you all are aware of him, he became the most dominant figure of the anti-caste movements. Coming from the Mahar community, Ambedkar himself experienced caste-based discrimination in his childhood. Between 1927 and 1935, he led a number of movements to secure the rights of the untouchables to enter temples. After independence, he became chairman of the drafting committee of our constitution. The Constitution of India provides for the equality of all citizens irrespective of their caste, creed, and religion as one of its core objectives. Children, the Indian reformers of the 19th century initially received support from the British. For example, the role of William Bentinck was instrumental in the abolition of the Sati Pratha. But the situation changed after the revolt of 1857. Now, British, they decided to adopt a policy of non-interference in terms of social issues. On the other hand, they tried to exploit the caste division in the Indian society to prevent the emergence of a united nation, because their policy was to divide and rule. So, from the early 20th century, the British government started caste-based classification with the aim of furthering their divide and rule policy through increased fragmentation. It was in the Gandhian era that social issues were included in the mainstream anti-British political movement. Gandhi was vocal against the caste system and he believed that freedom from the British rule would only be meaningful if it was accompanied by freedom from social evils such as caste discrimination. He declared untouchability a sin and fought for its eradication from the society. Gandhiji called the untouchables Harijans. And in 1932, he founded the Harijan Sevak Sangh. His ashram at Sabarmati was opened to all irrespective of their caste and class. Children, on all this scenario, let us discuss about the response of the upper class. The Orthodox section reacted by establishing associations such as the Sanatam Dharma Mahasabha and the Bharata Dharma Mahamandal, maintaining the caste distinction and validating it is an important institution of Hinduism were the main objectives of these associations.
Thank you, Shamstars. That's all for today. In case of any doubt, you can drop your queries in the Google Classroom.